Hallo, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren. Hier willkommen zurück zu Fire Emblem Three Houses mit mir, dem Emerieos. Und auch hoffentlich euch. Also, in der letzten Folge haben wir Manuela aus einer ziemlich heftigen Bredouille rausgeholt. Mit der Hälfte von Hanneman. Und dazu haben wir noch auf Geist von Felix ein paar Ritter seines Hauses bekämpft. Auf Geist seines Vaters. Um zu zeigen, dass wir es wert sind, Magister zu sein. Irgendwie sowas war das nochmal. Und ja, nach den zwei Kämpfen haben wir natürlich einiges an Unterstützungsgesprächen nachzuholen, die wir uns jetzt deren widmen. Also viel Spaß!
I can't believe it. How can I show my face to Lady Edelgard after this?
That's what you get, Hubert. If you rested like me, you wouldn't collapse from exhaustion.
As much as it pains me to say it, you're right. But to be looked after by you of all people, that might be the worst part of this. I don't know how to feel, to be honest. So for now, let's pretend I thanked you.
Oh, come now. Even I wouldn't abandon someone who collapsed.
You would have in a heartbeat if anyone else had been around.
Ah, yes. Quite accurate, Hubert. Why would I ever bother to be a decent person if there were anyone else I could foist the duty upon? If your situation turned bad, it would have been an absolute hassle. I could never just leave you there.
If that were the sort of man you truly were, we could never be friends.
But if we weren't friends, I probably would have just left you.
Shame you're so reluctant to do any real work. You're actually pretty good at this. Made sure I was comfortable, checked carefully for injuries, even carried me here yourself. If only you'd apply that knowledge of yours so proactively and thoroughly all the time, you'd be a tremendous asset to the Empire.
There you go again. I see no problem with staying just the way I am. But think of it this way. In an anthill, 20% of the ants are asleep at any given time. And it's not because they're lazy. Far from it. When the working ants become tired, they go to sleep and the others wake up. That's me. I'm the ant who rests so I can work later when other people are tired.
Maybe that's true. But even if it is, it's still just a fancy way to say you let others do all the work. Consider me unconvinced.
I'll consider you a bother and leave it at that. You and Edelgard work far too hard. I mean it. Take a break now and then. If you both collapsed, I think it'd be too much effort for me to bother with. Get some rest, Hubert. Not as much as me, of course.
Fine.
Das war ja mal ganz ordentlich. Hubert war nicht direkt ein totales Aas. Mal sehen, was er zu Kasper zu sagen hat.
Not a single war cry to be heard. It was almost as if you weren't even there.
I did it just for you, Hubert. Isn't that what you wanted? Weren't you the one who said my shouting would cause problems?
Yes, I was. And at the time, you seemed intent on ignoring my advice.
Well, that was then. Recently, my behavior caused trouble, just like you said it would. I was shouting the other day and some enemies heard. I pretty much gave our position away and left us open to attack. I mean, it turned out fine in the end, but someone could have died if things had played out differently. Anyway, I did some self-reflecting and realized that I probably shouldn't shout so much. A decision that I'm proud to say I came to all on my own.
All on your own, huh? It was a bad decision. Being too quiet on the battlefield is extremely dangerous.
I'm sorry, what? That's the exact opposite of what you said before.
Having seen you fight in silence, I have no choice but to accept the truth that your shouting is vital.
What in the world are you talking about?
We've all grown used to the way you fight. Your battle cries help morale. And your instructions rise above the din of battle. I would go so far as to say that the soldiers under your command would be lost without the guidance of your booming voice.
I really don't get you, Hubert.
You inspire people. The benefits of your shouting outweigh the risks. Something wrong?
Yeah! I'm back! If you want me to shout, then I'm gonna shout! I'm not even gonna think about it! I knew you'd come around!
Don't get too excited. You'll be ambushed again.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to fight some guys while shouting!
Die Lache, ey.
That might have been the wrong approach. Ah, well. No cure for stupidity. I suppose I'll just have to rein him in myself.
Okay, und was hast du zu Bernie zu sagen?
Good morning. The weather is nice today. So, it's really nice weather we're having, isn't it?
Indeed. Did you want something?
I'm really sorry.
I can't accept your apology until I know what it's for.
Oh, good point. I'm sorry I said you were terrifying.
Is that all? I'm used to that. No apology necessary.
But you've been avoiding me since then, right? You even stopped doing your deathly grin.
I am merely trying not to frighten you. Is there something wrong with that?
It's not working. And yes, there is. You can't quit talking and laughing just to try to make me feel better. That's not really fair. I need to master my own fear.
Is that right?
Yes. Right. Why?
You told me not to forego laughing, so I laughed as hard as I could. Is it helping to conquer your fear?
Yes. I mean, someday it might. Maybe. I'm not ready!
Ach ja, Bernie ist einfach ein goldiges Stückchen. Linhard, was hast du zu sagen zu Ferdinand?
Linhart, there you are. Observant as ever, Ferdinand. What can I help you with?
You have been utilizing clever tricks to give me the slip. But not today. Prepare yourself. A noble cannot escape from his duty. Hold these words in your heart.
It seems you really mean it this time. I suppose I have no choice but to outmatch you.
Finally, a little enthusiasm. You are bravely stepping upon the path of nobility. Let us begin.
Come now, Ferdinand. Don't be foolish. I can't possibly train with you. I have places to be.
Wait! I will not allow you to get away.
I can't run anymore.
Just admit defeat.
Can't we? Just a minute. Ferdinand, let me catch my breath.
Well, maybe just for a moment. I could use a rest myself. I am surprised you could run so far. I had assumed that all that lounging around would have dulled your constitution. But I had a difficult time keeping up.
The fear of having to exert myself really helped. You're none too slow yourself. It's been a while since I ran like that. It actually feels pretty good.
It does it not? Well, how about we say that thrilling chase was your training for the day? If you will excuse me, I am going to run even more, so I can catch you next time.
After all the running you already did? That's our Ferdinand. You always give everything your all, don't you?
And what is wrong with that?
Nothing whatsoever, Ferdinand. I mean that.
Oh, die zwei sind auch knuffig. Was haben die bloß zu
Taking care
sagen?
of some weapon maintenance, Petra? You seem completely absorbed.
Yes.
Taking care of the weapons has great importance.
I cannot argue with that. That weapon there, is it from Bridget?
No, it is a weapon of Dagda. But the people of Bridget used them often.
Fascinating. I have read about the weapons of Dagda, but this is my first time seeing one in person.
Lots of weapons and fighting techniques came from Dagda to Bridget.
Ah, so Dagda to the west had a big influence on the Bridget archipelago. I am fascinated by foreign fighting techniques. Would you consider teaching me sometime?
I will. But it is difficult to explain fighting with words. We can try sparring, maybe?
Yes, a practical demonstration. I would be quite grateful.
Let's have our beginning then.
Perhaps we should stop there.
Oh? Do you think you have understanding of the fighting techniques from Dagda?
Yes. Now that I have experienced it firsthand. I used to look down on foreign fighting styles, but I was clearly remiss. The footwork, the nimble way you shift your weight is extraordinary. I will have to remember those moves for the next time I am in battle. Clearly, you have honed your skills through practice. Your fist felt as sharp as a spear.
Bridget is stuck in between Dagda and Fódlan. It is of much importance to hone our fighting techniques. I am of the royal family, but I am a warrior before that. I must fight to live and to protect my home.
When the alliances of Bridget and Dagda encroached on the Empire, they were always driven back. But perhaps the Empire's victory was due to geographic advantage or divine intervention, rather than military superiority. Having met you, that is what I think. I cannot help but feel a little disgraced. I held foreign fighting styles in such low regard without ever seeing them for myself.
When I came to Fódlan, I felt disgraced for many things that I learned. But there is no disgrace in losing ignorance. We need to be learning and growing with each other, always.
Yes, by working together we can make progress. And both sides need to look ahead to the future.
Ja, so wird's richtig gemacht zwischen den beiden. Die wissen, was abgeht.
Dorothea, I want to be asking you a question.
Oh, please do.
Why have you come to Garreg Mach? Is your goal different from the rest?
Yes, I suppose. Everyone here is an heir or an heiress, but not me. I'm just a commoner. When I enrolled in the Officers' Academy, I was different than everyone else. I wanted to secure my future, and my big idea was to marry money. Ever since, I've been dating different, terribly well-to-do men, searching for a good one. So far, there's been no reason for a second date.
Marrying money? That is not sounding like a good idea. Money would be a bad husband.
Pretty much.
But you treat me well. I have so much gratitude. Well, why do you show me such friendliness when I am not money?
Oh, no, Petra. This isn't like that. I like spending time with friends. It's wonderful being friends with you. And I hope we can stay close for a long time to come.
Yes, I have that hope too. But I have also been thinking of who is good for me.
Oh, I see.
And still I am thinking we should be friends.
Oh, I know why. Because we're both trouble for Imperial nobility.
Yes, we both have troubles.
Feels nice, doesn't it? Knowing that together we can irritate that many people. Since we've already got a lot in common, let's get to know each other better, shall we?
Ein Double Trouble Gespann. Das kann ja was werden. Ach, guck mal. Edelgard und Manuela.
That song.
Oh, hello, Edelgard.
Professor Manuela, that song you were humming. I feel as though I've heard it before, long ago. And I'm sure it was you singing it back then. At the Opera House in the Imperial capital, perhaps.
Why, yes. You must have seen me there. I am flattered you would remember it. I performed with the Middle Franc Opera Company in Enbar on numerous occasions.
So it was you. I went to that performance with my uncle. I wanted desperately to see it again. But after that night, he took me to seek asylum in the kingdom. When I returned to the Empire several years later, you had already retired.
Oh, that's a shame. So you only got to hear me sing once?
Sadly, that's correct.
Yet you still remember it, even the melody of the song I sang. I'm honored.
That's how much of an impression your voice left on me. I must ask, why did you retire so soon? You could have continued for another 10 or 20 years.
Indeed. Many singers perform for decades. But that wasn't for me. I wanted to go out on top. My voice is a gift from the goddess. However, as all things do, it will decline with age. One day, I will lose that gift. And so I decided I needed to learn to survive without it, long before that day came. I needed to prove to myself that I can live on, even after my voice returns to the goddess.
So despite your belief in the goddess, you wish to live by your own strength?
It's hard for me to explain. The goddess supports me both spiritually and emotionally. Everything else is up to me.
Das ist aber auch sehr gesundes Weltbild, muss man ja ganz ehrlich sagen. Ferdinand von Eyre und Kaspar.
Caspar, I have been waiting.
Ferdinand. Waiting for what?
I am going to give you a lesson on the righteous path of the noble.
Righteous path? What? You have a problem with my path now? You think you're more righteous than me?
That remains to be seen. I heard you stopped a robbery in town the other day. Some despicable thief who was robbing an elderly shopkeeper. Rumor has it you didn't wreak as much havoc as usual.
Hey now, I think you're underestimating me here. When the thief showed up, the old shopkeeper was so scared that he could barely stand. I didn't want the guy to pass out, so I had to stay calm while handling the situation. Rather than fighting, I gave my own money to the thief and told him to get out of there. Or else.
How, magnanimous of you.
The thief fell for it and left the shop. That's when I chased him down. I got my money back and gave that thief a good beating. He won't be back here anytime soon.
Ah, so you walloped the scoundrel. That does sound like you. I am finding this story more plausible. Nevertheless, I think...
Hold on. Now it's your turn. I heard a very interesting story about you recently.
My turn, eh? Let's hear this story then.
The way I heard it, you punched a foreign soldier right in the middle of town.
Stop. I know what you are getting at. But you have the wrong idea.
Let's hear your version then.
I had been browsing for weapons at a rundown stall. Suddenly, a man seized the stall's owner and started dragging him away. Someone with a less generous spirit might say the peddler had it coming. His wares were quite inferior after all. But without a moment's hesitation, I leapt to his aid and soundly defeated the goon.
Well done. Sounds exciting.
It was nothing, really. Anyway, the old shopkeeper let me in on the details. He said that he was a novice trader, tricked by a noble into selling low-quality goods. That ruse was about to come to light, so the noble had sent a mercenary to keep the shopkeeper silent.
So that's what really happened. I just heard you snapped and attacked some noble servant. I figured it was worth asking about.
Well, I won't deny it. I forgot my rank for a moment and let my instincts take over.
Is there something wrong with that? It sounds a little like something I would do.
And your, gentle approach to handling that robbery. That sounds like something I might do. You were not overcome by your impulses. You kept a cool head. For the most part.
I think we're starting to rub off on each other. Always looking for a way to defend justice and to lift each other up.
Partners in justice, eh? Well now, that I can agree to.
Ach guck mal, dick und doof haben sich gefunden. Oh, Dorothea, mit wem hast du denn noch was? Auch mit Manuela.
Professor Manuela, it's been far too long since we've had a proper chat. Let's fix that right now.
Too true, Dorothea. We hardly have a moment to spare here. But it's so nice to see you flourishing. It certainly brings back memories. You know, somehow you've gotten even prettier. The years have been kind to you.
That's something like a rose telling a daisy it's pretty, but I appreciate the compliment all the same.
Oh, honey, if that's the case, I hope you'll work hard to never become a rose like me. Too many thorns.
Oh, stop it. You've accomplished a great deal. You should be proud.
That's a very nice sentiment, and I appreciate it. Thank you. So, I've been dying to know, how did you come to be enrolled here? I know you didn't have any family connections. How'd you do it?
Well, it did require pulling some noble strings. But learning everything to pass the entrance exams, that was all me, and very hard. Especially while I was still singing for the opera. But I wanted the academy more than anything else.
Well, bravo, and well done. You've always had to find your own way in life, haven't you? I so wish you could rely on people more often. Still, though, you haven't said why you worked so hard to get into Garreg Mach to begin with.
Isn't it obvious? Because you were here. When you retired, it broke my heart. But it also woke me up. Seeing someone like you, who shined so brightly on the stage, give it all up and start a brand new life. It got me thinking about my own future, and what I wanted it to look like. As ever, I followed your lead.
Oh my. I don't know what to say.
Oh my oder ara.
I had also heard that the heirs to the Alliance, Empire, and the Kingdom were all enrolling this year. With such an exceptional crop of potential spouses, how could I go anywhere else?
And have you gotten what you were after? Your dreams, a future, and a good partner?
I'm sure I'll find my somebody someday, but I haven't found them yet. Ah, it's so nice to spend time with you again, Manuela. It's been too long.
Ah, die zwei sind ja auch ein richtig krasses Pärchen. Ja, also nur noch Flayn und Manuela unterwegs.
Hello, Professor Manuela. I wish you to know that I have heard ever so much about your talents.
Whatever are you talking about, Flayn?
Singing! Why, you are wonderfully skilled at it, are you not? Why, I have even overheard people saying your voice is akin to the singing of a goddess.
It makes me happy to hear. But who told you that?
Oh, the students are always speaking of it. Which got me to thinking, I may be the only person in all of the Academy who's never heard your beautiful voice in song. So, I was wondering, Manuela, might you sing a little something for me?
Your request is touching, but I can't perform on such short notice. My voice is an instrument and requires proper gentle care. However, the stories are true. I was once the leader of the Middle Franc troupe, but that was a long time ago.
Middle Franc? What do those words mean precisely?
You've never heard of the Middle Franc troupe? It's the single most popular opera company in the imperial capital. I used to sing on stage with them. I was the star, in fact.
Oh, wow. In all of Enbar? They must not have been around when I was living there.
You used to live in Enbar?
Indeed. Although I was quite a bit younger at the time. It is where I was born, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, you must have been too young to hear about us.
Yes, that could be. And what precisely is the function of an opera troupe?
You don't know what an opera troupe is? Well, it's a group of performers like myself who act out stories on stage in front of a big audience. Stories with lots of singing.
I understand now. I certainly have experience in the fine art of storytelling. There is often singing as a part of story time for the children at the monastery.
That is darling, Flame. But I'm not sure it's quite the same thing as an opera. You see, operas are performed in grand theaters with orchestral accompaniment. Everyone attending wears their finest. It is a very special occasion.
Theaters, they're called? You mean to say that there are buildings exclusively used for telling stories?
You've never even heard of a theater? You're an intelligent girl, Flame, and the world is full of wonders. You have a lot left to discover.
Ja, Flame wurde halt sehr behütet. Und ist auch sehr behütet aufgewachsen. So, aber ich wollte noch gucken wegen dem Examen, weil eine gewisse kleine junge Dame hat eine kleine etwas gelernt, nämlich ihre Fähigkeit hier. Arcanum. Sie hat es gelernt und anscheinend darf man noch nicht die Oberstufe machen. Glaube A oder höher, Vernunft A oder höher, A oder höher, A oder höher, C oder höher und Axt. Flame mit als Wirbel. Natürlich. Natürlich. Gut, aber da das jetzt nicht weitergeht, machen wir nicht den Pegasus-Ritter, sondern den Magier. Das war ein schönes Kleid für sie.
I have succeeded.
Also echt ein schönes Kleid für sie. Hätte ich jetzt nicht gedacht. So. Am Marktplatz noch irgendwie was? Nee. Aber nach dieser schönen Unterstützungsfolge passt das ja ungefähr von der Zeit her. Also würde ich sagen, wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal mit der richtigen Mission. Also, ich hoffe, ich sehe euch beim nächsten Mal wieder, denn es heißt Fire Emblem, der Monat des Roten Wolfes, die Mission für den Monat. Also, bis dann.